All right, questions?
How's Durham Smythe?
Excellent. He was cleared for full participation um, and had a really good day the last couple of days, so he is cleared to play on Saturday.
Will you limit his time at all, or are you just going to?
I think we're going to roll with him, Tim. I think he looked really good. His volume was up to player load was up to what it normally would be, so there's no need to really um, change his role.
I wonder what your advice would be for a couple of the veterans that may have missed their mark a little bit last Saturday. What do you say to them? What kind of advice do you give? In Alizé Mack, a career Martini.
Um, I think with Alizé, we feel like in his situation, here's a young man that really hadn't played in a long time, um, and we feel like the improvement that we're going to see from week 1 to week 2 is going to be great. Just really positive with him, gave him a lot of confidence to continue to go out there and be who he is. He's going to be a fine player for us. I think when we come back later in the season, we're going to talk about his progression. So just really confident with him. Um, Continue to work on, the little things that are going to make him a great player in this offense, and that is not only catching the football, but his inline blocking. Um, Greer, Greer was, situational awareness more than anything else. There were a couple of situations where he was he wasn't aware of a couple of things that he's normally aware of. And I too think that week 1 to week 2 kind of settles you back in. So we talked about Monday is defensively and from a couple of players just having a better awareness on the field, and then with Alizé, probably more about getting the rust off him.
And I mean, when it comes to tackling issues, can you almost always generally point to a technique situation that can correct that?
Yeah, a little too anxious. I think Niles had a couple of those situations where he threw a little bit too early. You get anxious as a tackler. Just trust your teaching, and that's what we went back to. Trust your teaching. If you do that, you'll be in good position.
Ryan, what was your reaction to the lawsuit filed by a former player, Doug Randall?
I was surprised, but I think my comments would be centered on the release that we saw today from the university, um, and I'm there every day. I know the kind of quality health care that we provide. We've got outstanding doctors and trainers, and that's our mission here is to provide um, the very best health care to our student athletes and whatever's in their best interest. I think that's important to note as well. So I think I stick with that statement that was issued today, but um, again, the rest is litigation, so I wouldn't have any comment.
Ryan, when we talked to Dexter yesterday, we know that he's on all the special teams now, but he mentioned he's a better teammate than he was last year. Do you know what he's talking about when he says that?
Sure.
Okay, can you expand on that?
Yeah, sure.
Please.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I think what Dexter's referring to is he got 2 carries, and his first 2 carries were in the third quarter. And if you remember, the 2 carries got us down inside the 5-yard line, and I took him out. And somebody else scored. That could have been the last time he had a chance to touch the ball. May not have had a chance to score again. So leading up to that time, he was alert, locked in, ready to play, um, and provided our football team with a huge play and getting us down into scoring area. When I took him out, there was no, what about me? This is my chance. It was all about the team. And then subsequently gets a big run and gets 2 more chances to score a touchdown. So much more about what I can do for the team I think that's probably what he was referring to more than anything else. His preparation has been very intentional in everything that he does. His attention to detail, his focus, all the traits. He is really locked in. If you look at his wristbands, he's got all of his power statements on his wristbands, and it's really helped his talent come out in a fashion that it's going to be fun to watch him play this year.
Brian, just a general one. Obviously, haven't had a chance to catch up with you for a few days. Big game. How's practice been?
Awesome, thanks. Miss you guys too. Let's have a big hug. I think we've had a great week again. Our preparation has been focused, really, and the steps that our guys have taken in terms of the preparation has been exactly what I want. Our guys will play well. They'll play hard. Look, Georgia's a good football team. They're going to have some success, and we're gonna fight back at them and expect a great football game. And I expect our football team to win.
No distractions over the big moment or anything?
No, I think they've. We're not there yet. We'll go back out tomorrow. We've upped our practice a little bit on Fridays. We do a little less on Thursdays. That's why I'm in here a little bit earlier. We cut back a little bit on Thursdays. We add a little bit more to our Fridays. So we got a little bit more work to do. But no, they're in a really good place, and they're excited to play.
Brian, with their right side of the line, with a freshman at right tackle, a redshirt freshman at right guard, what do you know about those guys? What kind of feel do you have for them when there's not much tape on them?
The right tackle is going to be an outstanding player. He's young, but he has all the tools to be one of the really, really good ones. So you can see him flash just in one game how good he's going to be. Obviously, when you start to look at offensive lines, they've got two outstanding running backs that can make up for a lot. So it's a very, very solid offensive line. It's one that has some experience. And now I think on the right side with the right tackle, he changes things a little bit for them.
You guys are recruiting him. What really stood out during his high school days that made you want to bring him here?
His makeup, we really like the way his ability to communicate effectively, wide-eyed. Really liked him in person. Didn't seem like the moment was too big for him. Just all the external factors. It's easy to see a big guy, but big guys don't necessarily translate into great players. He's going to be a great player.
Coach, back in Georgia, there's thousands of people spending thousands of dollars to come up here for this game. What do you think when you hear stories like that, and can you get a sense of what this game means to your fan base?
Well, we take it as a great compliment that a great program like the University of Georgia would want to be part of this Saturday's game and want to make the trek up here. I mean, this is relative to national championships and Heisman trophies. This is a storied tradition here at Notre Dame, and they're going to be part of it. It's going to make for a great afternoon or evening, I should say. So we take it as a great compliment that we're having that kind of draw, and so it's exciting for our players as well. Look, we know there's going to be some black and some red in the stands. We get that. I think 8,000 tickets is probably what they were allotted. Could be times two. We'll be ready for that. We've seen how Texas traveled in their first time up here. We've seen Nebraska in their first time up here. So that won't affect us. We'll have a pretty good fan base here too. So it should be exciting, and we're excited that Notre Dame provides that kind of draw to the stadium.
You have an immense recruiting weekend coming up this week as well. What's your protocol as far as balancing the preparation for the game and the focus on the game with also paying attention to maybe 24 or some top prospects coming in?
Yeah.
And also having players involved as well as hosts.
Yeah. Well, we've had many of these and have done quite well in that balance, but you're right. I mean, you have to be careful that you don't put too much of your preparation in the recruiting and forget about what you're doing. But all week, our focus and preparation is on the Georgia football team and our team in particular. Because it's a night game, Saturday does afford us some downtime to spend with recruits. So when you do have that evening game, there is that time that gives us a chance to greet them. Some will come in Friday night, again, giving us an opportunity to greet them. So there is that opportunity. Sunday is a preparation day for us. Gives us a chance to have breakfast with them. So there are many opportunities that we can pick and choose. We're not going to get distracted, but we will, with the efforts of our recruiting office, which do a great job. Aaron Kearney does an incredible job of organizing that office with Jazz Johnson and Dave Paloco. And I think, again, I try to balance it, like you said, but we have to be involved in it in some extent, too.
Do you have the players involved as hosts?
We do.
Also?
Yeah, we do. Not on a Friday night. We would have players that are not going to be playing, certainly, because we'll be sequestered at the hotel. But we'll have well, we got a number of players taking red eyes in. You know, they're not going to be here till Saturday. So we'll have players that played in the game hosting Saturday night, yes. But Friday night it would be players that probably are not playing in the game on Friday night as hosts.
And does that carry over into Sunday too, or is it just with the coaching staff?
Sunday, it's a handoff to the coaches. Yeah, it's a handoff because then we'll do a brunch up in the Downs Club and meetings with coaches, and I'll have personal interviews with all the players and recruits.
Brian, I know that defensive line depth is something that you really want to build this season. Given that it was the first game for Tagovailoa, Mosa, and Heinisch, how did they come out of that game? What's their practices been like this week?
I think they've been a build-up, you know, from where they were last week. I think Kurt learned a lot, and I think the benefit of both those guys playing in the first game against Temple with a pretty good offensive line, they'll be better for it. Their volume was pretty high in terms of the snaps that they took, so it was a valuable first game experience for them. So they'll continue to be in the mix. There's no question. We got Micah practicing this week, and we'll see what he can do to add to the rotation as well. But we just see them continuously making progress on the field.
And Saturday you ran 74 offensive plays, 72 your defense was on the field. Is that the kind of numbers you're looking for? And can you slide that up or down depending on maybe what the game plan is against the other opponent?
Yeah, it'll be more game plan than it would be particularly playing faster. We could play the whole game in a tempo that allows us more plays, but you saw we like to use motion. We like to change the formation strengths around a little bit, and when you're doing that, it cuts down on how fast you can play. So I think you see a moderate tempo, but we can play a little bit faster, and I think teams and how we're trying to attack those teams will really set our game plan.
Then can you see a scenario of wanting to play keep away like you did in the LSU game?
Oh yeah, we have the opportunity now with the offense the way it's set up with the 5 tight ends, the ability to go under and play direct snap football that we could slow the thing down if we needed to.
Ryan, with all the work that went into all the changes that have been written about in the offseason, can you allow yourself to look at this game and this slight Temple as a way to validate some of all that work that, hey, things are different and this is a game to show that things are different?
No, and this is not a validation game in any way, shape, or form. This is another step for us as we continue in a process for this football team to continue to shape themselves. But it's too early to talk about validation games. We've got a long way to go. We're going to get our football team will continue to grow. Will continue to work towards the things that we've asked them to work towards. But we're only in our second game. I like what I saw in the first game. We'll do some good things here in the second game. There's no question. We expect to win the game. But coming out of here, when I stand in front of you and we've won the football game, we are not uncorking, the balloons in here. We have a long way to go.
Anything else? Thanks, everybody.
Good, thank you. See how I didn't say champagne?
Yeah, I noticed you
Very,
turned
very,
you turned on that.